Hello Star Wars The Old Republic players, and welcome to a brand new video where today I'm going to be talking about everything that we just learned about Game Update 7.4 from the live stream that released yesterday. So I'm gonna go by every single point as much as possible I can in case you missed the stream, and make sure I cover everything, give you a full recap. So first, let's start with one of the things that a lot of you are most interested in, and is what's going on with the story. Well, the next stage of the story is called Chains in the Dark. The Chains in the Dark story will take us back to Ord Mantell with a new area called the Cousins Landing, where not only it will be for the Republic players, but now Imperial players will be landing in Ord Mantell in this new area. So it's kind of similar to Boss having a new area. We're gonna get that now with Ord Mantell, which is very interesting considering the Imperial side could never go to Ord Mantell. In this new area, aside from new story, we're also gonna get a new daily area. So there's gonna be new missions to grind, a new world boss, and there's gonna be new things to earn as well, including achievements, reputation rewards like new titles and decorations, a new armor set, and a mount as well. So going back to the story, the Hidden Chain, which is one of the groups from Heta Cole's Mandalorians, is attacking multiple planets at once, and one of them is an assault in Ord Mantell. So Jakaya Ordo and Ras Oldo will be telling you to help them stop the Hidden Chain at Ord Mantell. So you'll see here some footage of this brand new area. It's very interesting. It's like a night version of Ord Mantell, but you get to see a more nighttime life instead of a more underground area of Ord Mantell, and it's near the volcano area, which I think is really cool. So they also went through the characters that we're going to see in this new story, which I already mentioned you that Ras Ordo will be there, so he'll help you track down the Hidden Chain. He's going to be our Mandalorian boy. But if you're on the Imperial side, your companion that's going to lead the story is going to be Darth Krobos, and we're going to follow up with her on what is going on here, which is interesting because we haven't seen the Sith connected to the Mandalorian story very much. So it'll be nice to see what other dark side characters think about all this Mandalorian conflict. And Krobos is a good choice given her connection with Malgus. On the Republic side, we will have the return of Ord Mantell. He is Tao's apprentice. Now he has become a Jedi Knight. He helped you on Manon in the beginning of Legacy of the Sith, and now he's going to catch up with you on this new story. So it's great to see that we're going to see a unique version of this story. Along with them, there's going to be returning characters from the class stories like Captain Blythe, who is one of the very first side quests, if not the first one, that you encounter in Ord Mantell when you start up a new character. And the other character is Gismel Gam, which I believe is one of the characters in one of the heroics of Ord Mantell as well. So basically they're gonna give us a little glimpse of how is the state of things in Ord Mantell with these characters, because there was a conflict, if you don't remember, between Republic and Separatists on that planet. Along with all of these will be a brand new character called Petra Nimrun. That's pretty much a rundown of some of the things that we learned story-wise. We didn't get a sneak peek of a cutscene or anything, so stay tuned on that. And again, like I mentioned, there will be repeatable missions in this new planet, achievements, reputation rewards, titles, decos, armor set, mount, and a unique tech side mission. In this side mission, you're gonna be traveling across the galaxy to gather pieces of tech that will be useful to use in Cousins Landing, which is the new area. Now the world boss is a battle droid called Freedom, FR3DOM. So that's a fun one. Not sure how difficult this one will be, so stay tuned. But aside from everything about Ord Mantell, we're also getting an extra story mission, Shae's cousin, LotsVizla. If you last remember, we worked with her on Runok, and she promised to give us a Basilis droid. So with this new mission that we're getting from her, we're gonna work towards repairing the Basilis droid. And in order to fix this droid, you're gonna find a new character called the Curator. The Curator is going to be the one that is going to assist you to repair the droid. But in the process, the Curator in return wants you to find an HK-24 droid. This HK droid was designed 100 years before the current time and before the Neo Crusader timeline of the Mandos. So there's a lot of history on this new mysterious HK unit. Aside from all these new story updates, there's gonna be more improvements to previous content in the stories. For example, in the class stories, there are gonna be new cinematic lighting. They show us this video example where you can see that the light no longer looks flat and instead it does look nice and soft, and it retains the details and colors of what your characters or NPCs are wearing, whereas the current lighting that we have in some of these starting missions is very flat and too punchy blues or too punchy yellows. So this is a really great quality of life improvement while still retaining the art style of the game. So that's it in terms of anything related to the story and cinematics. But if you're worried about the future of the game, Keith at the beginning of the stream mentioned that there's already an internal roadmap with SWTOR where they're working on 7.5, 7.6, all the way towards the future of 2025. So there's plenty of stuff still coming, so I wouldn't worry about the game stopping content anytime soon. Now moving on to other new changes is that the Galactic Trade Network is going through a substantial change, which I think this is probably the more interesting, maybe if controversial one. There's this new advanced searching system where each item is listed once. So for example, if you're looking for crafting OMs, for example, you will only see one OM in the GTN list, and once you go there, it will tell you what's the lowest price available. Essentially, it's simplifying the process of finding things instead of seeing multiple copies of everyone's versions of that item being sold. On the plus side, which I think a lot of people will definitely like, is that what you buy from the GTN will now have a claim page where you claim it right there and then instead of having to go to the mail. So it will simplify the process when you really want to get that thing right away. Now I think there's a lot of details in this one that I think ultimately it will depend on trying it out firsthand, because there's a lot of things about selling stacks. You pick the unit price for selling stacks. The game does the math for you. Apparently the buyer now pays the fee of the duration of the item being there instead of the seller. I feel like these are a lot of things that will make a lot more sense once we try it out. Moving on, they talk about gearing changes in 7.4. Now, don't worry, they're not bringing a brand new gear system, they're not revamping the whole thing or going crazy. This is more specifically for the more endgame players. So the item ceiling is going to be increased with 344 Rakata gear. They're also introducing mods at 340 via the hide and seek vendors that are currently on the fleet. So they're just gonna have more options available. There's also gonna be 340 legendary implants and more access to Rakata gear. Essentially, there's gonna be an increase for those that buy in the specific very end-game vendors. Rakata gear can be upgraded to 344 at the operations upgrade vendor on the fleet. You can also exchange Virulent 340 gear for Rakata 342 at the R4 vendor. Additionally, you can grind OP1 Catalyst, which is a resource, from Master Mode chapters, meaning the Knights of the Falling Empire and Knights of the Eternal Throne, but in the very hardest difficulty Master Mode. And you will use this OP1 Catalyst along with the R4 tokens and credits to convert Virulent gear to Rakata gear. Next, they talked about the Life Day event. There's gonna be a new armor for this event called the Life Day Officer. They gave us a little preview here. I kinda like it. I'm really interested to see how it looks in game. Now moving on to more Cartel market things, they are introducing a new color text system. And what I mean by this is that we're gonna get new dyes that will give us metallic colors, pearlescent colors, basically shiny things. Think Captain Phasma in the latest movie, how shiny she was. You can see it on this Suppression Trooper armor, which looks really great, by the way, this new armor. I'm excited to get that one. But here on this video, you can see how these new dyes are so shiny. They look really clean, really nice, and I think it's a really nice touch because it makes the graphics of the game look way more realistic. There's gonna be a lot of different colors too of these dies, like chrome white metallic golds or vice versa, and they also gave us a little preview of how those look like on cloths. There will be 6 new dies in 7.4 with this style. You can have a shiny white gold, a shiny black red, or a shiny just black. Other Cartel market things coming include this new suppression trooper rifle, looks pretty nice. In terms of armors, besides the trooper one that we just already shown, we're getting a new Ahsoka inspired set for Sabine Wren. This one is called Defiant Maverick. So as you can see, it looks pretty nice, looks very close to Sabine. There's a couple of new weapon sets as well, as you can see here. Look pretty cool. For those that love the Darth Maul lightsaber, there's now a dual saber version of it for those that wanted that version. Lastly, they ended the stream with a showcase of what they consider the finalists for the Best View in Star Wars: The Old Republic contest. It's a contest where players submit their best screenshots of a specific planets that are a part of the contest, and the team working in the game decide which ones are their favorites and they become decorations in the game after. They did not announce the winners, but again they did a really nice showcase of all the finalists in it, as I'm showing you here, and I'm super excited that I was one of the ones featured here with my screenshot on Burl Savis. I just want to say a big thank you to the team at Star Wars: The Old Republic for this, because it's really exciting because I do love this game, so getting to be featured in this stream is already a nice thing to get and I'm happy about. Regardless if I win or not, it's a cool thing and I think it's a nice thing they did for all the players that participated on the screenshots, and I don't blame them having this difficulty task because there was a lot of really impressive shots in all this video. So congrats to all of you who are finalists as well, and best of luck. When is this update coming? We don't know yet, but the update will be on the public test server between this week or the next week. Since the week is almost ending, it might be a little late for this week, so maybe it will be next week, but either way, it's happening this month. So usually when they're on the PTS and all that, it passes at least a month. So I would say at the end of November or very beginning of December, we're gonna get this update. Anyways, I believe I covered just about everything of this 7.4 update, as I will definitely try and test out everything on the public test server when it comes out. So see you next time.